Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to break down Tesla, the stock market, kind of everything in general. Got a bunch of tickers to go over, but in our usual order, it's the dollar, the Bitcoin. We'll go over the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow, the Russell. We're going to jump to Tesla first because it is at all-time highs, killing it. Let's get the all-time highs on screen here. Last previous high was 416. Okay, now if you've been in Tesla, let's say if you bought Tesla in January of 2021, the absolute peak, you've watched your money go up. Actually, we'll bring that up here real quick. You've watched your money from the absolute peak, right? So you watched it go up at one point, you're up 38%. You watched it go down 66%, and you've watched it do a whole lot of nothing. Literally nothing. A little bit up, a little bit down. As an investor, you've gone nowhere. You're currently in an up cycle right now. Pretty awesome because it is breaking. I'm actually not bearish Tesla, by the way. That might come off that way, but I do own a lot of it. I have a lot of sold puts that I might as well buy back because they're absolutely worthless right now. I don't know why I didn't. But if you followed me, if you've been following me, and my exact words were, I'm not allowed to give financial advice, but please, for the love of God, pay attention to this. It's exactly what I said. I'm going to zoom in here on screen. So, because if you did listen to me, I told you this right here was a manipulative dip down to buy it back up. And same again with this check mark right here. So if you watched June of this year or April, when I told you guys, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I like it. I'm buying it a lot. This is going to get crazy. I could not stress it enough. It's kind of like when Meta was at $90. Okay, now, had you just done that, well, let's just call it right there, smack dab in the middle, bang, bang, boom, you're up 140%. Killing it. If you did take that trade, I would be trailing it nice and tight, pulling it back into this zone right here. If it doesn't break 390, I really wouldn't worry. As far as that goes, that is still a dip buy. I've had a ton of people ask me, am I going to short this? Now, I don't know if they're asking me if I'm going to short it so they can continue to go long, because if I do swing puts, you just get wrecked. Now, I day trade short this anytime we're up. And if we gap up tomorrow morning, I just might for a pullback. And it is definitely important you guys understand that for a pullback. Now, I'm not selling any shares or anything like that. I might sell some calls on my shares. I don't, I don't know. I don't know. What I will do probably is buy some puts. I'll probably go next Friday's puts, and I'll likely, and all I'm going to do is hopefully, let's say I'm right. We open up at 430, and it pulls back, to $400. Still a $30 move. It's going to move some options contracts around. In the grand scheme of things, that will be a blip on the radar. It'll be nothing. It'll be a great dip buy. I just think I'm probably going to play that. I do think it's a little bit overbought. If we bring up the RSI, not something I use. In fact, I do often call it the really stupid indicator. But we've been plenty higher than this. I am just calling it. Ooh, don't need that. I'm just calling it a overbought that I think we might see some profit taking, and it pulling back. Now, when it does, I am buying the dip. I know it's a bit high, and when Tesla does this, by the way, I do think this is a momentum cycle. I just want to say I don't have any FOMO on this right now. I do think next year we do crash, and that is when I'm going to have FOMO. I'm going to buy a lot more Tesla back then. This is the run up, kind of just confirming we're rocking and rolling. When it pulls back, and if we do crash next year, and hopefully I'm right. You make a lot of money when the stock market crashes. That's why it does it. I'm going to go hard, especially if we crash and just send it anywhere closer to, honestly, either one of these trend lines I'm going to be buying. But if we send it all the way back down and make a higher low down here at 188, right now, people that hearing this as a recording, just turbo typing away. 188, good luck. Why don't you just short it? FUD. Anyway, right now, for the next few months, I will be trading this a lot. So I'll be a little bit nimble. I might short if we get overbought. I'm going to start buying the dips. I do think we trend up. And when Tesla gets going like this, it definitely can continue to go. Chris says, can I get a 250? A 250 would be great. And by all means, I don't care what catalyst it takes to get there. Outside of Elon rolling into a factory and smoking somebody, uh, nothing's fundamentally going to change. Nothing really fundamentally changed to even cause this, other than we're starting to see a lot of institutional participation really kick up. And if you look back here, if you look at institutional participation, ownership, sorry, before this, a lot less. And we've really jumped up a lot on that, which only confirms more that what I was seeing was right. Sorry, I'm new to this. When you say make the call, what do you mean? You might be. I don't ever say make the call. Now there's buying call options. I might sell call options. It's a contract that says I will sell my shares. So like let's pull up the options chain. Right. Give me 1 second. Um, Thinkorswim. Nothing but the best here. Let me close that out real quick. I'll pull up the options chain and show you. Oh, sell. Okay, yeah. So you're definitely talking about that. Give me 1 second. Let this load, and I'll pull up the exact contract. Give a quick explanation of what I'm talking about here. I do like Thinkorswim as far as showing it off. In fact, the course that I have, which it is extended. I don't think I'm going to do my birthday. I'm just going to extend it. The Black Friday thing is extended to Christmas. So if you guys do buy my course, it is. I feel weird with that having that on screen. The whole course is done in Thinkorswim. I just like the layout, how visually it is. It is one of the top tier, I think, for when it comes to options. Let's see. Let me get caught up on the chat while that at least loads. Tesla's the only Mag 7 that wasn't taking part in this bull run for a long time. Oh, it's just playing catch up. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that. Just that wording. People say it, and I don't even want to argue it. I just think something about it sounds off. Like, it's just playing catch up. It's another thing like sympathy plays. Like, oh, did it feel bad? Were they sad for each other? It's a sector play. Oh, I can't stand when people say that. I was feeling bad. All right, so I'll pull up the options chain right here. Now, this is the call side over here on the left. Expected move for the rest of this week is about $18.65 left. So when I say I want to sell a call, like this is a call options for 100 shares. So I can sell for every 100 shares I have, I can sell one of these. So let's see. Right now, we'll call it 425. We got $20 worth of move. So it's the options market. It's basically saying we're probably not going to go above 445. So I might play it safe and sell the 450s. So someone to do that is going to buy a call option. This is where usually I sell to the gamblers, and it's very consistent and very profitable. This is the difference in being the slot machine and being at the slot machine. So you got a gambler right now coming up here saying, I think Tesla's going to go well past 450, and he's going to pay me $1.71 per share, 100 shares in the contract. So I would collect $171 for the right to sell. Now he has the right to buy my shares at 450. Now I'm not obligated to sell at 450, but he has the right. So in this case, I would sell him my shares at $450 a share. Now it's really awesome when Tesla shoots to 500, he gets to buy my shares at 450. Now. Either way, now if I sell my shares and I let him go, I keep his $171. Think of that like an application fee when you go to like rent an apartment or something. All we're doing is like that's your deposit. Like I'll write this contract, you got to give me some money. I'll go ahead and sell you some shares at 450. Now if it goes to 449, they can even go straight at 450. It might trigger it. The options, the OCC, right? The Options Clearing Corp. There's actually no rules as far as when they assign contracts. But at expiration, I could sell him my shares at 450, it might trigger, but I still keep his 171. If it goes to 449.99, I keep his money and I keep all my shares. So anything 449.99 and below, I get to keep it all. And right now, Tesla is up a little bit. So if I think we're going to pull back, I'll sell that call on my shares and I make some money. Now, if it continues to push up, I bought way down here. I sold my shares at 450. I don't lose in this scenario. Literally at all. The only thing I can do is leave money on the table if it shoots up to $600 or something crazy, you know? That's the only time people really get FOMO. So when things really shoot up like this, and if you're in the if you're in my Discord, or you're like, sorry, if you're on Patreon, right? It's either Patreon or you bought the course and you have lifetime access, right? I post all my plays. So when you see me sell a call, that's what I'm doing. It's just collecting weekly income on the shares that I own. Again, very consistent. And if you pull up the options chain real quick, if we look at the deltas, let's say the 450 delta is the 450 strike is a 17 delta. So there's an 83% chance that it does not hit $450. Does not expire at $450. So he has a 17% chance of being right. I have an 83% chance I'm going to keep all his money. So if you play the numbers game and you take that trade the next 100 times, there's times it's going to push above and you're going to have to sell shares. And there is things you can do to actually not sell your shares. You can play the politician game and kick the can down the road and get paid to do so. But you win. You win a lot. It's something I wish everybody did know, especially as a trader. It's great for collecting income. Me trading in the beginning, taking directional trades as a trader. Now, I've been a very successful trader, but mentally, it's 1,000 times easier, and that's putting it very lightly. It might be 1,000,000 times easier to sell options contracts on the things I own and just create income every week. It's like a dividend, but every week. Anyway, it's not the end all be all. It certainly is there's certainly a learning curve to it. You certainly don't want to chase things. In this scenario, there's actually never a home run. Never. If you're looking at something, you think I could sell this contract, that's a home run. This is going to be banging. Something's wrong, right? So if you're ever thinking that, watch out. But it also is why I like to sell weeklies. It's a popular strategy. People will give it more time. An options contract is real value plus time value, or just time value in general. So a lot of people think, well, I'll sell 90 days out and I'll collect so much more. And I will sell, 12 contracts in your term of one contract, and I get to move my strike around and move with the market. So a lot of times I end up making more than the person who sold further time. Buying, you need it to move. Selling it can go up a little, sideways, or down, and you win. Yeah. So what Cody just said, buying that call, it needs to meet it needs to go to 150, then 150, 170 to cover what he paid for it. Then anything above that would be profit. Where if this goes to 450, 100% play for me. If it goes to 449, 100% play. If it goes sideways or down, still 100% play. And I have my shares. And guess what? We get to do it again. So you reach that little coin purse of yours and you pull it out and you put it in the slot machine. Let's pull that lever again. And I'll just continue to take your money. Sometimes they give you like a little 7-7 star. I was close. Almost got it. But almost is still nothing. And I get to keep all your money. It's a great play. Selling options makes you money 80% of the time. Buying options only makes you money 20% of the time. I'm almost always a seller. It's even weird to even say that buying options only makes you money 20% of the time, because even at that, if you're a halfway decent trader, that's still huge odds. Most of them just expire worthless, which is why you guys see Wall Street bets. It's not that they're all stupid. They just don't know what they're doing. Like nobody. And what really annoys me is when people want to get into the market. They finally think, hey, I heard the stock market's a thing. Let's do this. And they're this close to changing their life forever. And they don't know that they're following an absolute idiot. And then just you go online, you follow a moron, and then you lose all your money. Next thing you know, you're part of the crew that says the stock market's a scam. That's why 95% fail. They never set themselves up from the beginning. When ready, which is the best start out with, trading or investing? More than likely investing. You could still lose all your money investing. Just stick on YouTube and watch some people give their advice. Last piece, because I know everyone's heard this a million times. There's been over 100,000 stocks on the market. There's 6,000 right now, which means it's actually over that, but over 94,000 stocks have come and gone, went to zero. Some went to zero and even came back. So you can still give it all away by just buying some crap stocks. The only difference is time frame. Investing, you're going to hold it for years. Trading, you're going to hold it for well, technically less than years, right? So a year or less. Swing trading is buying it now, selling it at a different date. Day trading, buy and sell in the same day. There's a lot more noise the smaller you go. And then investing more fundamental base, but you definitely need the trend in your friend, and you need to have a plan with all of it, or I promise you'll fail no matter what avenue you go down. And especially for getting back to Tesla, jumping into this, look at this chart. This is nothing but volatility. This goes up, this goes down. As an investor, you watch your money do just that, up and down. And I've made this joke a lot. If you just want to watch that, go get a calculator, punch the numbers in, hit the plus, hit the minus. You'll have a great time, and you won't actually lose any real money. If you want to take that route, I'll buy you a calculator and I'll send it to you. They even have those really cool clear plastic ones. You can see the insides. If all you want to do is watch a number go up and down, great. I do think Tesla's going to be great long term, but right now, one of the top tier stocks as a trader because of the volatility going up and down. You make money when there's movement, which is why Wall Street makes a lot of money when the market crashes. There's a lot of movement there. There's a lot of emotions. People get emotional. Their 401ks are disappearing, but everyone else is shorting it, making money. Have a plan or plan to fail. Don Braun, sometime in 2010. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. 2013 is actually. All right, let's. Have we covered Tesla enough? I think it's up there. I think it pulls back, but I definitely think for now, a pullback is a dip buy. And here's a little bit of a warning sign for you. When we pull back and we push up and it's a lower high and we check that zone again. So let's say we pull back into this zone. Let's get extended hours on. Let's bring out some more info. We pull back here. We bounce out of this yellow box and we push up. Let's say it gets to 418 or everybody's favorite number, 420. It's got to be a sign that they should probably invest more. What's going to happen is it makes a lower high and it comes back and it checks the zone. This zone will run out of buyers. When you see that first lower high, that's your first warning shot because what just happened? So look right here. We'd actually pulled back. Now we based out, but continued up. Now we stayed the same height. Now we pulled back and we made a higher low, pushed up, same height. That tells you we're gaining strength. This is exactly the same play. Like if you guys watched my video a while back with XRP and Doge is doing the same thing. And we're running this up. We're running out of sellers. You're about to get that move to the next level. But this one, again, pulled back, higher low. When you see that in reverse, I'll just invert the chart. That's what it's going to look like. So you're going to, let's just get it. So here's Tesla right now. Pulls back, pushes up, lower high, pulls back. It's going to bounce probably at that same zone, and it's going to be next to nothing, or it's going to go flat. And that's going to be your cue. We're about to break and head south. And what you're going to get is just right here is a pullback. What you'll get is probably a leg down to like the next zone down. You can buy every one of these yellow boxes. It'll probably end up being like jumping out of the top of a tree and hitting every branch on the way down. It'll slow down. You get a quick little bounce up just to gain some momentum to the next one. One of them eventually will be the bottom, in theory, hopefully, right? Can't obviously make any guarantees. If you've been following since 2017, it's just been a random coincidence every time. Anyway, on that leg down, it'll be lower lows, lower highs, and same thing in reverse. When it bounces, it'll bounce, pull back, make a higher low. Then we're rocking and rolling. Time to load up. Do I ever screen for stocks in the indexes to trade? No, very rare. The reason why I trade the same stuff over and over again, and there's almost always a play within the same stocks that I trade. If there was absolutely nothing, kind of just an all garbage setup, as much as the YouTubers that like the gurus, right, the fake gurus, as much as they just repeat it like a parrot, there is some meaning to it. Like there does need to be the right setup. There is ways to kind of put things in your favor. So if everything was just a garbage setup, more than likely I'm not even trading that day. I have zero problems taking another nap or not looking at things. Zero. There'll be a trade the next day. The biggest thing you can gain is the confidence to understand that the market it's going to be here tomorrow. Is this live? It's pre-recorded, but I knew you would ask that specifically at this time. Anyway. If there was absolute garbage, I would go to finviz.com. And I'm sorry for everybody that's been here a whole bunch, but let me just run through this real quick. It's super easy. So FINFIZ.com. Let's see. Go to screener up here at the top. Sorry, TikTok, you can't see my whole screen. Anyway, you can on YouTube if you're interested in this. So what I do is I go over to technical. Oh, sorry, technical over here. Right here, technical up here. Now you can go to pattern. Let's go to channel up strong. Let's go back to descriptive. Where's the volume at? I usually change my my volume, average volume. Let's bring that up to over. Let's go over 500K. It's a lot cooler when you can get this down to one list. No one wants to comb through 99 pages of stocks. Like, let me spend the next 3 hours looking at some garbage that I have no idea what it actually is. As much as there's technical analysis, there is also a story behind the stock. There's a reason Tesla has the attention it has. It is because of Elon. There's companies out there that have great cash flow. No one talks about it because no one knows, right? Their CEO is like a little turtle, a little hermit crab, couldn't come out to say anything. Elon can't stop tweeting. You know, he stays in the not the limelight, but the spotlight. Well, you can change. You got index, dividend yield. You can find what sector you want to be in, what industry. Let's see, fundamental, forward PE. You can look up all that stuff. I don't know any actual trader that does care about the PE. Let's see, technical. Here we go. All right, now over here I'll click TA. Now what that does is it brings up a daily chart because I don't actually care to go through every one of these. I can tell you right now, here's a channel up that bounced in what likely is a zone right there, and it already bounced. So this right here, ACIW, in 5 seconds, it doesn't look bad. ACIW, ACI worldwide, going from left to right, looks good. This is actually what I would zone out right. Here's a matter of fact. Let's see, your buyers are showing up there. So I care about this zone, right? We're bouncing. We have this area right up here where Winnie the Pooh shows up. Nothing but sellers above. So technically horizontal, but bigger picture, we are channeling up. So I would go long this right here. I would put my stop. There's the wick. So I would go to the 85 cent mark right below. And that would be my trade setup for that one. So you would essentially risk 3 to make 4. Not the best, but you have to be realistic with your take profits. Realistically, you're hoping for something more like this because you want to keep that channel up strong. And now, if I was in this play and we got up to here, I would put my stop in the green. I'd put it at 56.85, and I would hope that zone breaks, and I would kick my feet up on the desk, and that would be it. I'd just move on. You know, I'll just keep trailing. Every time it makes a higher low, I'll put my stop right below that, and I'll just stay in the stock till the end of time, until it turns around at least. But if it keeps making me money, I'm just going to keep going. Anyway, that was the first one. We need to stop the first one. This one, it's kind of turning around. You go along that ACM. This one, I would prefer a better dip buy. AUR, that's a bull flag, also at the top, and a $7 stock. So, in fact, since we don't want to buy garbage, and some of you guys might think, I want a $10 stock, and you're going to go buy 10 shares of that. I would rather buy 1 share at $100 than 10 shares at $10. And that's the one I was looking for. Where's my? Who cares about how many shares you have? Unless you are selling options or anything, it does not matter. I can't same with Bitcoin because you can't buy a whole coin. So what? It's still good price. Let's go over $10 because we just under $10. There's a large slew of companies, people that just do not care about that stock. Okay, ACM still look good. ANET, not bad. It's $107. Still trading up, kind of in the middle, depending on your risk appetite. American Express actually doesn't look bad. Still kind of trending up, and I would put my stop right here below this candle down. That's too high. Not worried about that one. That one kind of has a dip buy right now. This one still melting down, and we just beat these. We just broke this last low. So, bro is the ticker right here. YouTube can see it. Sorry, bro, but it looks like it's going down. There probably is a zone right here. You're going to find some buyers, but I would bet that actually has a dead cat bounce and probably continues down just because this momentum right here. This one already broke that one down. CB looks like garbage. CIBR looks okay. We've seen better. Cisco Systems might not be a bad one. Let's go to page 2. That already broke. Looks like garbage. DXG, not worried about. This one kind of sucks. We just now broke this high. So Dynex Capital was trending down, but we just kind of had some higher lows, lower highs, just got above it. Maybe that's your sign that things are going to turn around and continue up. It's a $12 stock. Is this Evergy? Might not be. It might not be a bad dip buy. EXTR, bull flags. You'd want to put your stop right below there. This would be the easiest way to find stocks you could trade. Notice nothing I've brought up is garbage. It's all trending up. If you bag hold most of these that I just brought up, if they keep that trend, you make money. You can rewind this and watch it 52 times, and you'll still be better off than just trying to catch some random knife. This looks like a dividend ticker. You don't care about that. HWM. Looks more like a buyout or a good earnings. And then holding that up. All right, last page, then we're moving on. Gold Corp, not bad. This one, garbage, right? Someone might look at that and think, that's a dip buy. That's trending down. If that's you, if it sounds like I'm talking to you, stop. Okay? Unless you're a knife catcher. That is in a zone. And right now, I'll pull this up, LHX. This does look like a dip buy for a knife catcher. What do you know? I already have this thing zoned out. Ran into one of my zones. That's where we have buyers. It's gapping up right now. If you are a knife catcher at heart, there it is. Knife catchers, they don't have a problem with bag holding. If you have a problem with bag holding, knife catching, not your thing. But I catch them like a circus freak. I will juggle those knives. What is this company? Provision of defense and commercial technologies across air, land, sea, space, and cyber domains. I kind of like this one. I like it as a dip buy. We'll see. I'm going to put my alert right here. If it hits that alert tomorrow, I might take that and trade it to hopefully a zone above, like up here. It's not the number of shares you can buy. My kid bought 3 shares of NVIDIA a few years ago. He now has 30 and a pile of money. For a 20-year-old? Yeah. People really worry about the shares they can buy. Like it really is useless. It does not matter. I promise. $3,000 is $3,000. Whether it's one Amazon share pre-split, or 1,000 $3 shares. Just remember they're priced that way for a reason. Anyway, we've gone through a lot just in this stream. How do I see buyers are there? By doing this for 12 years. That's not a sarcastic answer. It's just kind of my way of how I do things and just looking at charts. Is this recorded? TikTok does not record these things, but it is on YouTube on Don Fron Show and Don Fron Trading. And it is live for everyone on TikTok. You can see my full screen. You can see FinViz. The website, it's a free website. It's not paid. You can do everything I just showed you. You could literally bring up another monitor or on your phone and do it side by side. All right. UNH. I did buy calls on this and got wrecked. This was looking good. Then it gapped down and got smoked. I do have a lot of time on mine, but I actually do still like United Healthcare. We don't have a CEO announcement, do we? Let's see. Dropped after the murder. Okay, murder. Okay, still worried about that. This one will be a knife catch, but overall, I don't want to say there's a reason he got shot, but there is a reason the United States is in an uproar, and it has something to do with corporate greed, and they do make a lot of money. So I do like this ticker. Sucks that, I don't want to say you profit off of death, but I do think this will end up being a good one. Right now, still very much selling off. And like I said, if you struggle with bag holding, knife catching is not your thing. Adobe had earnings. This is an Adobe stream too. Did we answer everything on Tesla? Is that clear? Usually when I say this and I talk about it's going to pull back to this zone, a bunch of people will show up in the comments talking about how I'm a bear spreading FUD. And I'm trying not to threaten people. Right now, I'm trying to turn a new leaf, like, please pay attention. I read something that there is another CEO. There was bad news about the drugstore. Okay. I'm curious to see who their next CEO is. I figured that would be our next announcement to really make that thing move, whether people really like that CEO or not. I have my no, Melvin, I cannot. That looks weird. Is that's either a joke, like you're trolling me, or that's a meme coin, and either way, I would not own it. UNH, Andrew Willie. I have to look into him. Don't want to profit off death. Don't buy MO. Listen, it's morbid when we talk about the stock market, but the stock market just does not care. Right? Boeing, they were falling out of the sky like lawn darts. People were still buying Boeing stock. All right, let's jump on with the market. This is what we normally do. Sundays, Wednesdays, Thursday, I'll do another recap. But I'll go over. We'll kick it off with a dollar. I'll do the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, which now lately has been Bitcoin and XRP, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the Grandpa Dow, and the Russell. Which right now, and this is what we expect. The movement's probably gonna start dying down. You're gonna need to be in something like Tesla to kind of see any movement. We need catalysts at the end of the year. We got window dressing and banks taking a vacation. So it's retail running around thinking they move things. They're certainly not moving the dollar. Right now, I just want to see the dollar stay under this purple zone. I am short the U.S. dollar. Sucks that it did break above that, though. I actually might consider going long this play, which is long the U.S. dollar. But I just can't ignore the fact that that might be a higher low. We're trending back up into that zone. Bitcoin still staying in its channel up. And can you imagine, for those of you guys on TikTok, we've had these yellow boxes drawn out for a while. Do you see how awkwardly we hold at this random yellow box that some weird guy drew? We actually dropped down, hit this yellow one, bounced right back up, still putting in higher lows. Anything below this 97 mark getting bought up. So we're still putting in higher lows, staying consistently on a channel up. So what we really need to break is that 103 mark. We'll likely push us to 105. Hopefully a little bit higher. But right now, as Bitcoin pulls back, Bitcoin's still in the channel up, so all the red candles are currently just dip buys. There was a vote for Microsoft to add Bitcoin. They did turn that down because they're scared. Scared money don't make money. We all know that. Microsoft, what are you doing? Get on board. Dorks draw boxes. Exactly. Meaningless yellow boxes. Let's look at XRP real quick. All right, XRP. Same thing. Holding this yellow box. I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't do crap. I did buy more. This is my alert right here to buy more at 230. I did. It did actually drop down to this zone right here. And I told you guys I was thinking about adding on at that zone. For sure going to add on at this 145 zone. But I didn't. It dropped down to this blue box, bounced right back up. Here, I can show you guys on the smaller time frame. Awkward, right? Can you imagine not following these zones? Anyway, holding this one right here. So I do want to see that continue to go up. Right now, though, the one thing you might want to pay attention to is this right here on XRP. So all sarcasm aside, actually still doing a good job at channeling down. But go ahead and Google bull flag for me because that is what that looks like. This is still technically a bullish formation on the particular coin. Still very. The reason why I sold and got back in was because I had bought it just here at $1. Made a whole video about it. Sucks I haven't put it on TikTok. Sorry about that, guys. It was on YouTube. Anyway, I had more than doubled my money, so I sold some, and then I kind of got more. I wanted more of it, so when it dipped down, I bought some. Let's see. When should I buy Tesla? Camilo, I would say watch this exact show on YouTube so you can rewind it. Tesla's the absolute first thing that I covered for you. That's the one thing that sucks about TikTok. It's great at getting like the word out and you get a huge audience. They just don't record it. Right now, my TikTok looks very inactive because I haven't posted a short or anything, but I go live. I stopped my auto buy on XRP because it was 230. Guess that was the wrong play. You stopped when someone like me is looking at buying it. That's funny. Um, all right. So anyway, still bullish that overall. I don't think Bitcoin is. I will say this: if you guys have any FOMO about Bitcoin, I think we're gonna have one more, not anytime soon, where you're gonna have one more opportunity to buy it sub 100,000. Now, I'm not talking about this 96. I'm talking about another crypto winter. The next crypto winter we have, because it moves in cycles, right? It goes up, goes down, much like everything else. You'll get a solid leg down on this. Um, and that I do think will be one of the last times to buy it sub 100. Right now everyone's like, "Oh, I would have bought Bitcoin if I knew it was going to go to this. I wish I would have bought it at 3,000." And you're gonna be saying that exact same thing. Only I wish I would have bought it under 100,000. Like Bitcoin will be at 1 million, and you'll be thinking, "Man, I wish I would have bought it sub 500,000." Everyone right now thinking it's very high, and right now I buy it every week. Nothing changes, uh, and it's something I would consider yourself. Merlin thinks we'll still come down to the 88 level. Where's 88? Right here. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Right now, the being above or below 100K, it does not actually mean anything to me. That's a number a lot of other people built up in their head. It's just another number on the side right here is all that is. Um, for now, I would buy a considerable amount more if it dropped down to 76. Anything close to this trend line, right? So I buy it every week, but I have money going into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a savings account. And when we get the real dip buys, then I take the savings account and put it in there. That's how I average into a particular ticker. Kind of keeps your weighting down. Buys more when it's lower. So I would need something along that trend line to bring over the savings. You gonna talk about XRP moving in the right direction? It is. What's up, NASDAQ? Yo, NASDAQ. Can I do SUISOL? I can't real quick. I gotta get on with the stream. Hang on. Hang on. SUIUSD, right? Is it not this? Because it's on the Solana chain, right? Is that where the SOL comes from? Speaking of which, though, this thing's killing it. Okay, perfect. All right, so I would worry about this level right here. That would be my dip buy. Hopefully your next higher low is going to be somewhere right here. Maybe it wicks down to here. I wouldn't be surprised to watch it hang up right here, as a matter of fact. Pulls back to that, but kind of bases out. Down here would be your better dip buy. Oh, it's a pair trade. Okay. Oh, Forex style. US. Can I do that? SOL. How do I pull up the pair on TradingView so I can look it up? SUI. I want to say we can do a plus, right? So, which one's performing better? So SUI, you would need to lead this. So you want SOL. If SOL goes down, that would go up. On crypto coins. Does it look like this? I would still be wanting to look at the driver. So like when we're looking at Forex, for instance, you could you would still be looking at this. If this pulls back, obviously that one, it'll mimic this more. But as SOL pushes up, that will come down. So let's look at SOL real quick to break down each individual. So as that continues down, it'll push up. So you would be bullish that one, but I think you're probably about to get a tiny pullback to that first zone that I drew at the top. It would hit that, pull back. Going up to here would give you that quick little dip buy. And then as this sells off, if SUI continues, then you'll see that continue to break up. What's the levels? Magic or meaningless, depending on what platform you're on. Just how I trade for the last 12 years. Let's see. All right, as far as the S&P, not quite all-time highs. We're jacking around. I bet we push up again tomorrow. Still bullish. Elon's net worth is $400 billion now. He should pay taxes. Just kidding, because I know how it actually works. I want to see that break. As far as the NASDAQ goes, send it. The most annoying part about this is, okay, so we'd sold off. This is Monday. Sold off Monday. I bought QQQ calls for yesterday and this Friday. Now, today they actually made up for the loss that I took yesterday. I kind of thought we'd have this dip or this push yesterday, which is why I did such a short expiration on those. So I took a 100% loss on those, which is, again, risk and capital. They're either making me money or it goes to zero. So all part of the plan. I was kind of annoyed when I woke up a little bit late and saw we were just killing it. It just didn't feel the same that my other calls were up. I've covered it, right? So I'm up overall in the trade. Really annoying, though. I just needed to give it one more day. What sucks about options. You give yourself an expiration. I do think this continues up before it pulls back. If it does pull back, this would be the dip buy that I would buy a futures contract in. Am I gambling again? No, not yet. I really thought I was doing something there. We were right there in the zone. I was like, let's do this. Let's take that zone play. And then they just enough to jack with me. All right, let's talk about Grandpa Dow real quick. Grandpa Dow I did actually go along here at that zone. That did break. I'm about to do it again. And this is what I talked about earlier in the stream where you can buy every one of these zones. I'm a knife catcher. This does not faze me in the slightest. But you can buy at every one of these zones and it'll probably do a quick little bounce. Yeah, we'll hang out here. That's where I bought. You can see, and then it did just break down. It'll be like jumping out of a tree and hitting every branch on the way down. Hopefully one of them stops you, turns the thing around. You sold your QQQ calls today for 100%? Nice. Where would I suggest a person begins with a $500 account? Options, stocks, or definitely not options, despite what everyone will tell you. You could spend less, you could make more, you could kill it. What you'll end up doing, if you want, you could just PayPal me that $500. I'll come up with a cool story, and you just say it a lot in your head until you believe that that's what happened. Because that's what's going to happen. You'll just lose your $500. I'll tell you that right now. I have a 99% chance that I'm right. Start off slow. I literally started my account at 0 and posted every play. And I did that for the sole purpose, and you can even join in and watch, just to show people you need to trade at different phases of your account. Right now, it's over 10,000. But still, we're just now starting to kick it up as far as trading goes. But we had the money in there, and I just started buying just a couple shares at a time, and it is mind-numbing. But that snowball never gets started if you just burn it right from the beginning. Tesla 500 by end of December. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah. You get the Santa rally. Tesla could hit 500 in a couple of days. The volatility's back for sure. Anyway, back to being a knife catcher. I'm about to buy this again. I like the straightforward responses. Thank you for answering my questions. I'll have a few more next live. Perfect, man. That's the reason why I go live. One, I don't actually like editing. But two, it's so I don't have to sit there and talk to myself in front of a camera. I can talk to you guys. How long did it take me? Only take me to what? Grow the account? I just started at 0. It's at 15,000 now. It's been a year. Are we buying the Dow? All right, I'm in. I'm about to buy the Dow. I just want to check the Russell real quick. Hang on, since Cody's here, we got to talk about Google too. I do have to check out. I'm sure somebody called it out. Okay, Google got called out a couple of times tonight. I am going to go down my list real quick. Inside my group, we're just going to break it down all today for you guys. So this is what I do every night. Yeah. So speaking of which, I suck at selling things. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if you buy the course on Teachable until Christmas, it's lifetime in Discord. But I am going to buy the DAO real quick. Give me 1 second. Do I think XRP will hit $3 by the new year? If it has a good day, it will. Yeah. Guys, it distracted me. Give me 1 second. I feel like I had a stroke. I could not even figure out where my app was. That's my bad. No sound detected. Look, I'm quiet for 2 seconds, and TikTok's like, no sound detected. Should we turn this thing off? Anyway, this is what I'm about to buy. Your lifetime or mine? It's as long as I'm here, and I'm never deleting that Discord, so it's going to be my lifetime. And I plan on living for a while. My high level income. I wish I knew the line from Talladega Nights. It's not crazy. It's I'm gonna live 200-300 years. Sorry, not one of my regular. I need to add this. All right. YM. So I'm on the Z con. If you understand futures, that's what I'm at. All right, 44, 144 is my fill. Yeah, sorry guys, I was buying this right here. Matter of fact, I do need to adjust. I put my phone down like I just didn't have a stop in place. All right, so right now my stop is 438. Numbers are a little bit off. It's actually right below this green wick. Welcome to Prestige Worldwide. Why? Please don't give me copyright. All right, so I do have to break down RKLB. Rocket Labs. Rocket Labs. Why do I want to make that a zone right there? Oh man, where do I want to? That's a yellow zone. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this one. Let's see. I would go long. My stop loss would be 21.85. You are long. Stop loss 21.85. Or thinking of running the wheel on it by selling puts. This particular one, I would probably go long now because if you sell puts, by the time you get assigned, that might just be a dump. So I would go long, and I would keep the stop, or at least have an alert there. I would sell some calls because if that alert tags, that call's worthless anyway. Buy that back, and then I would get out of the shares, or just continue to sell calls, see if you can't bring your average down. RKLB, is it even liquid? Not bad. Yeah, as far as liquidity goes, it doesn't look like it'd be a bad one. I thought we were doing Will Ferrell movie references. We were. Adobe, make it go up. I like Adobe for some reason. Yikes. Jumped up, hit that zone, blasted right down. Get wrecked. That's what you get for charging monthly and not a one-time fee. This is why I had to buy a Mac and Final Cut, because Adobe is just no. I go through random phases, and this was one of them where I'm like, I don't like paying bills. They're annoying, and they just keep coming. Anybody else feel that way? Whoa, what's going on? That was a weird thing right there. All right, let's bring back extended hours. We're not there yet. Make it go up. I would consider a buy if tomorrow this does push up and ends up holding this right here. You need the dust to settle. But that's what I would need to buy it. For now, I would wait. I'm either buying it at 470 or 515. Well, I have news for you. If this zone doesn't work, another bill is coming your way. Make it go up. Listen, I'll try to put in an order, see what I can't do. I think they call that front running, but for you, I'll do it. Let's see. I agree. Like the monthly, Brad kept charging me after we transitioned to lifetime. Yeah, I have no control over that, guys. 5:30 tomorrow will do. But it is worth noting, as far as that whole lifetime thing, I paid for this month. I have to pay to have that everything up, so it's not a joke. TikTok's probably used to hearing people say that. Maybe even YouTube is. Oh, it's going to expire. It really will. Yeah. And there's always someone. Sorry, guys, I will say this in advance. There's always someone that like waits for like a sale or something. I've done them before. There's always someone that waits for the sale to end. They're like, "Hey, if you still give that to me, I'll do it." Just for that. Now I haven't done it yet, but I've almost replied it's double. I can't stand when people do that. Like, do you just want to be difficult? No. The answer is no. That's why I don't have 100,000 subscribers. Full story. Adobe beat earnings, must have poor guidance. Sucks to suck. I wonder how Adobe's a lot of the AI videos coming out now. Sora's out. Google has theirs. I wonder what that's going to end up doing to things like Adobe. Seriously, though, mentorship has been the best thing I've ever done for my trading and investing. I appreciate that. All right, as far as AMD goes, going to hold, push enough to sell a call this week? Probably not. For this week, no. It's tomorrow's Thursday. I doubt it's going to be enough. We might. I'll sell a 144 call on AMD, but it needs to be worth it. Right now, it's nothing. What about Devo for the growth account? Devo. Amplified enhanced dividend income. All right, so it looks like a monthly payer, $42. We get 17 cents. Sweet. Oh man, that just gets me excited. So I spend $42 and every month I get 17 cents. Heck yeah. Great candidate. Absolutely phenomenal. As far as appreciation goes, though, that's going up. I can't make fun of it too much. What are we selling on here? Actively manage income-focused strategy to generate 4 to 7% annual gross income. Okay, fund manager selects approximately. Okay, so they're buying a bunch of other dividend tickers and then passing the dividend on to you. This one actually might not be a bad one. All jokes aside, not bad at all. I was going to sarcastically compare it to Beto because with Beto, you know, it's $26 a share and the last dividend was 99 cents. Got $1. You can almost spend 2 shares. It's almost $2 to your 17 cents. Thinking of wheeling dividend? No, probably not going to work out. I can tell you right now, it's probably not liquid. You're going to sell some options on this? Did you call the market maker and offer him Chipotle or something? Hey, if you sell me a contract, I'll do it. No. Yeah, these are never liquid. I can expand all the windows, just even take up my screen. Thinking of wheeling. You should think about stop eating paint chips. Just kidding. I forgot we're on YouTube. I'm super nice to everybody. He's not going to answer anything, y'all. That's what TikTok says. What's that I bought? I bought the Dow futures. My bad, dang. Well, Kohler wants me to tell you guys I'm not going to answer anything. I guess that sucks. Boeing at some point ticker call. Okay. Can I cover AMD? Well, we just did. Let's see. All right. Let's see. As far as TikTok goes, I have a whole list of tickers I have to break down that my group called out. I have to break them down first, and then I'll turn to the chat. Your ticker might be in here. Maybe might stick around and learn something. Either way, that doesn't bother me at all. All right, Meta. I will say though, if a number of dorks do show up and say stupid stuff, then I just quit going live in general. Just saying. Appreciate the views and follows if you do. That's one more subscriber you lost. No. I should really work on my sales pitch. Please don't leave. Please hit the subscribe button. Please. All right, Meta 615 covered calls. Ooh, looks like you'd be rolling those. Already took big losses with my last set of covered calls. Got run over. Don't want that to happen again. I don't know if I would take a loss on this. You got end of year weird stuff happening. I do think we'll have a Santa rally. I don't. You're not in a position to take a loss though. I mean, 15. We're talking about a $600 ticker, and you have 615 on it. It's at 630. It's not like we're talking deep in the money. You can still roll that and make money. And I'm for sure at least going to have this conversation in January, unless next week it pushes to $700. So I wouldn't be worried yet, but I would roll at least to like the 620. Just roll it up $5. Make some money and move that strike up a bit. One pullback and you'll be good. Microsoft. Now, if you have covered calls on Google, that's a different story. You have the 440 covered calls. No way it's going to 700. Yeah, that was sarcasm. I think it's fine. Wait, the Walrus said no way it's going to 700. When? What's your time frame? Meta will go well past 700, just not this week. Insulting people? I don't mean to insult anybody. I really am going to try to be a lot nicer. That is my first New Year's resolution was to not call anyone stupid, and that's worked out pretty well. My next New Year's resolution is I'm going to do the YouTube thing where I do ask people to subscribe. I'm nice, really nice, you know. I'll try. Baby steps. Screw being nice. The mentorship, you guys don't get a filter. Sorry, but YouTube might for a little bit. Get that culture shock when they join the group. 440 covered calls. Kind of the same story. Took a peek today regarding rolling, and I'm not in a good position. I really want to keep my shares. Really? On the 440s for this Friday? Let's see. He was being crazy. We asked him to be patient like 5 times. The Walrus says all companies are way overvalued. Yeah, tell me you're not short the market without telling me you're short the market. Does that make sense? Anyway, how many puts do you have, the Walrus? Are you actually short the market? Or are you just thinking it's you're waiting for a pullback to buy? Genuinely question. I'm not being sarcastic. Okay, 440s. Okay, 890. We'll call it $900. You could still roll to the 442 and make money. I would probably have to roll those now. This is the Meta. I'm not actually worried about. Microsoft, I think, is the one you're gonna start working your way up. I wouldn't want to get rid of my shares either, but the longer we stay in this channel, the better. And I would try to do what I can to make sure I don't. 17 cents, Lisa. 17 cents sounds. It's $17. Which one sounds better? Your next comment of I didn't listen and I took a bunch of losses, or I made $17. Which one made more? Come on, you know the math. Right now, we just sent it. I mean, it went zone to zone just today. Same with yesterday. And the day before, technically. We're playing the back and forth game. What about 2 weeks out? No. Why? Are you worried about keeping your shares, or are you worried about premium? Which one is it? Right now, I would be focused on my price. 442 for next week, and then I'd go to the 445s the following week. So if I was going to go to next week right out the gate, or for 2 weeks out, let's see, it'd be here. It'd be 445s. I would go to the 445s. That's what I would do. But I would at least need one strike a week. I'll go for the next 6 months. Now, if I was going to entertain that idea, what I would do is I would go to March. Now, how high could I push that thing to go to March? Keep your shares, you put it at 480. You bump your strike to 480, and you keep the premium and the shares, more than likely. And if we crash, you're good, but it needs to be all the way up here. Microsoft's not the fastest mover, and it has the legs down. So if I was going to continue, I don't know if I'd go 6 months. I would go to March. And if you caught a leg down, I would buy back to close anytime sooner. If I had sold the 190 on Google today, would it have cashed out my leap automatically in Robinhood, or would I have to manually? More than likely, have to manually do it on Robinhood. But we have Google coming up. I'll come back to that on that one. There's a Luigi coin? No, the answer is no. I would not buy a coin that just got made off of. Who is pushing these crap coins to people? Let's see. We'll try to cover it. Appreciate your patience. What did WW call it? What about an Apple 265 put expiring December 20th? Apple? Hang on. A 265 put? Break even 244? I don't think I would. I think Apple's up there. It's not the fastest mover. The reason a 265, why so deep in the money? That'd be my next question is why are we going so deep in the money on a 265 put? Now I'm intrigued. What about an Apple 265 put expiring the 20th next week? I think you could spend less and just go with the 245 right at the money. Interesting strategy, especially such short dated. All right, Tesla hit 445 this Friday. We'd probably have to continue going right now. I don't think so. We could probably hit that and pull. I don't know if I think at some point between now and Friday we might hit that number, but I think we pull back, and that might just Tesla at 445. Yes, Tesla at 445 this Friday. We need the momentum to continue. I mean, it's overbought, but Tesla can laugh at that. We all know that. Looking for a black swan next week. Exactly. I am curious now. Where did he go? Casey, get WW back in here. Another temporarily famous villain meme coins I should buy. Yeah, it's going to the moon. Its use case is phenomenal. Comes with health insurance. Um, hmm. Yeah, the only thing that do you have a Tesla call? Is that why you specifically asked that number for this Friday? I would almost entertain selling the 445 calls just because I think a pullback ruins everyone's plans that are in calls. Looking to get that 265 strike. So you want to assign the shares. You want to go short Apple at 265 and hold on to it for a bit. I guess if I was short, I don't know if it would be bad. Why not just go short right at the money? Why not just sell the shares short right now? I would love Tesla at 445 this Friday. I bought a long call right before the close for this Friday. Lisa, you absolutely love buying calls after the green candles. You kill me with that. Now, for me to go short Tesla, it does need to gap up, which would be good for you guys. I'm not entirely sold on going short. That's just kind of what I'm thinking right now. We'll see what the futures are doing. I'm long QQQ, so I only stand to make money if Tesla does do that. It'll drive the Nasdaq higher as well. Let's see. We only need it here. It's not that much to cover. Again, the only reason I don't think it does is because of one day of a pullback, and it just wrecks that 445 plan. Who just deleted my chat? Cody? Nobody deleted your chat. Okay, serve. Sold the 1150 put for this Friday. Nice. Zone play already turning around. Man, that I wouldn't argue with that one at all, actually, as a matter of fact. I got nothing unless you have an actual question. RX. I'm in this, so hopefully it goes to 7 million. You know, if AMC can go to 100,000, this can go to 7 million. And I'm on board. Hang on, I want to answer this question. Wanting it under the break even so I can sell 100 shares at 265. Oh, Stick around. I want to have this conversation because I'm very curious. I have a few more tickers to break down, if you don't mind. Would I add Tesla shares at this price? No. No, I like to buy the red candles, not the bright green ones. Okay, LO. This was this group buy today. I think a few of us bought this today. This is something we bought in my group. Zone play, yellow box trending down. Breaks this, I'm out until it breaks 17. I like it. We had the rally up, but I needed this thing to chill out first. Right now, the one thing that's going to just kill that plan is this overall. So definitely watching out for the overall just downtrend right here, but I'm hoping that breaks to the upside. As far as patterns go, that usually breaks to the downside. Have I discussed Palantir? Not yet, but it is coming up actually in 3 tickers. 4, it looks like. I guess it's not too late if anyone wants to follow suit. My stop would be 1735. By would be, it's where it's at. PCH. What is going on here? This looks like absolutely no volume at all. This just does not look liquid. Man, that would really make me question this particular ticker. Are we assigning options at this point? Something's going on right here. What a weird thing. Sideways. All right. So what's the dividend on here? 45 cents. Looks like platinum on the 1 minute chart. I guess the only way I'd entertain this is I would buy it as a dividend ticker. As a dividend ticker, we're still kind of appreciating over the years. I mean, this is 2004 back here. You know, here's the financial crisis. Here's the Rona crash right here. It hasn't been a bad one to just hold and collect the dividend. You'd need to be in this the next decade. Not bad. Not one I would trade though. I buy in the money puts to lower extrinsic paid if I'm bearish and the trend is down only. Paid $2,000 to buy the put. We're gonna come back to this Apple thing. I have to get to my group real quick. As far as oil goes, I'm bullish at these levels. If this breaks, hopefully it goes a lot cheaper, so gas is cheaper. But if this breaks, I'd say 51 a barrel would be your next. We'll probably have a little hiccup at 60, but I bet it goes to around the weekly. That's where I'd be watching it next. I do like to sell puts on futures contracts on oil, so CL. But I guess that'd be your next pit stop right there. Asana, crap or legit? Why do I know what Asana? Oh, Asana is actually a regular ticker. You're talking about a coin or a ticker? What is Asana? Asana. Why do I know this name so much? Brad used to trade this. What do they use? AI? Did they announce we use AI now? Quite the move up. I wouldn't want it breaking $21 though. All right, ticker run. Sunrun. This is pot, right? No, solar. Getting worked. All of the solar companies are down. It's probably worth waiting on any of the solar companies. Let's see. Google. Absolutely sent it. James, what was your question on this real quick? Okay, already underwater from my 190s and 192 covered calls I sold for this Friday. Come on, now that has to pull back. It doesn't actually have to. What did happen with Google today? Invest $50 billion to enhance its AI capabilities. So AI. Not bad. The only thing that sucks about this, and if you weren't following me already on TikTok, make sure you're following me, because I was live on YouTube and TikTok when I said this is a dip buy right here, and I bought shares, and that's what gives me FOMO is I did not buy options contracts. I'm just up. Not a bad thing, but just come on. It would have been so much better if it was options contracts. This would have killed it. All right, overbought. I mean, a little overbought. I would say that does pull back. As far as your 190s and 192s, let's have that conversation on Friday. There's got to be some profit taking. Have we been this over? I'm trying to see when the last time we've been this overbought. As far as the daily goes, we've been a lot higher. If I had sold calls on Google, assuming we pull back tomorrow, there's some profit taking, I would close those just in case tomorrow is the dip buy. If not, hopefully Friday's a take profit Friday for you guys. You sold the 190 call today. Just know the process of selling that call if it hits the target. If you don't, it'll likely be a cash settlement. If you don't have the funds, Robinhood will sell your leap to cover that cost. Other than that, it'll just be an L. What I would do is I would roll it to the next week, though. The new administration is not a fan of solar. You don't say. I just laugh because hearing Trump's victory speech or acceptance speech was basically F all the solar companies and EVs. I think Google's going higher. I think short term it'll pull back first, but then it's well on its way up. Let's see. Worked after the Trump election. Yeah. Anything solar. And I actually do think solar is going to do well. I'm very interested in buying some solar stuff. Now, I do have Solar Edge. I even have Enphase. Solar Edge performing a lot worse, but I have Solar Edge panels on all my properties. I actually really like them. I've had zero issues with them. But I think you'll get shares cheaper, and I'm not worried about buying it right now. It's on the list, but it's low on the totem pole. Palantir, definitely still in its trend up for now. And this is what we talked about when Palantir had a red day. Bearish engulfing. By all technical standards, if you just looked at, you could Google images of a chart. This candle right here should tell you top, and it's bearish. This is what I was talking about the other day. Still very much on its trend up. Don't get lost in that's a bearish engulfing candle or something. Because right now, Palantir's doing just fine. Now, there's clearly a massive sell order here at the 82 that triggered. In fact, anything above 77 was just let go. There's probably a zone here at 73. I'm gonna make it blue for now, but we just need to wait a little bit longer to really confirm that. But let's see. It's been on a tear. It's the end of the year. We're looking for a Santa rally. There's no tax loss harvesting on Palantir, so I doubt selling turns into more selling. It's just not one I would be chasing. If I'm buying Palantir to hold, then I'm not buying it right now. If I'm buying it as a trade, I would probably go long with my stop at 65.85. I drew a nice zone on the Google 4-hour chart you said you liked. Nice. Trump likes oil. I like solar and oil. Yeah. Of course, Demetrius. Boeing. Hey, guys, as far as the TikTok chat goes, I have a few more tickers to break down. And then, so Boeing is on the list, I promise. That got called out earlier. Daily chart looks like it's making a dome. We'll see. That could just be a middle finger pattern. It's been a while since we talked about that. And I'll explain that to TikTok if I get 15 more followers, what a middle finger pattern is. I have a lot of January 26th, January of 2026 or January 26th, 22 and 25 calls on Palantir. You're doing just fine. It's a nice middle finger pattern. All right. Can we get some new zones on Tesla? No. Come on. There's nothing to zone out right here. 416 was your peak back here. It's not a zone. We need to wait until it rejects. There's nothing to zone out just yet. $18 expected to move for the rest of the week. So 450 or 408. Hood. Let's see what Hood's doing. Kind of bear flag or reversal. It could have been in a higher low right here. This is definitely just like a speed bump zone. If you're long right here, this might not be a bad spot to add on. If I was looking for an entry, I'd probably wait for it to reverse and kind of get above 39 again, or buy it again down here at this zone at 35. Hood's been on an absolute tear, so I wouldn't mind waiting for the yellow zone. Have I gone over AMD? I sure have. Quite a few tickers ago, though. AMD's going to send it. Tesla is going to announce a partnership with AMD. Can you imagine? Oh, You guys know what my next YouTube video would look like? I told you. What's my thoughts on SoFi? Will it be back in the growth count one day? Maybe. The growth count has it just needs more money. I need that. I have a lot of things I want to buy in that account. Uh, Primarily, it was Tesla, Upstart. There's a few. SoFi might make its way back in there. As far as Mara goes, we need to see Mara get back above this. That'll end up being a higher low, especially if Bitcoin continues to push up. Just so you guys know, I'm buying Mara. I like Mara. And if you've been following me for a while, you guys know I'm in it. I don't have any sold calls on it right now because I know the second I do, it's going to push to 50. I would sell the 33 calls. I think we'll get up here to 33 and pull back. So I would sell 33 for this Friday or even next Friday. Right now, they're just not worth anything. So if it were to shoot up, get back here to 28, I would sell the 33s. But at any given moment, as far as the Bitcoin miners go, like or maybe crypto miners in general, that could still have a bright red candle any day. So I know I've been talking a lot of bullish and how much I like it, but I just don't want to disregard how what's the word, risky. I always forget it. There's the ones that might not do well, high risk, high reward. There is a word for it. Which day of the week is it best to sell a covered call? Monday, Friday, or Monday on a green day. Vulnerable? It's not vulnerable. News on Hood today was good. Numbers look great. Volatile? It's not volatile. It goes in your speculative. Thank you, Dylan. You got it. Mara still very much on that speculative scale. It's doing all the magic words. It's checking a lot of boxes on that resume. But it's still an underdog. Speculative. Kind of like what I talked about with Palantir when it was at $10. Speculative, but I like it. I like it a lot. Bought a lot. Kind of the same thing. Hopefully it performs like Palantir does. But do not be surprised or over allocate yourself. And next thing you know, Mara's at $18. And it could take 2 days to get there. High profit potential. Yeah. High risk, high reward. Absolute definition of Mara right now. Selling puts, I think, is a good idea, but just not selling calls right now. Mara needs to push up before I sell calls. Mara and Hut are kind of the same. I don't think Hut's getting into data centers. Hut is still selling their coins. Hut's just had a split too because they were about to be delisted. They had a split just to make the rules. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike's rocking and rolling. Kind of has this pennant pattern right now. So if CrowdStrike pulls back tomorrow, this is what I would be on the lookout for. Puts in another higher low. I think that's the dip buy right there to hopefully send it to that zone, and then if not, higher. Berkshire B, because you're broke. I mean, a man buys Berkshire A, Sorry, TikTok. I'm talking to the YouTube people now. Just kidding. Forgot. All right. Berkshire B. James says, okay. Let's chart. Man, where is it? I know this zone is right here. Is it here or here? It's right there, as a matter of fact. All right. Knife catch. I would feel a little bit better buying it at the 450 mark. If I was going to entertain this one, ties up a lot of capital, but my stop would be 458.45. Lori says that's okay. I don't want to be a man. Are you sure? It's 2024. About to be 2025. Make it happen tomorrow. a man, a real man, or a real woman? Oh gosh, I'm just trying to get canceled. I'll stop now. Just put me on the toxic masculinity category. As far as Google, the 187.50 is if I had sold calls on Google, guys, I just wouldn't. Lori, call this out too. Ran over your 190 calls for next week. If Google pulls back tomorrow, this week is going to really be affected by that. Next week, I don't know if you'd see the same movement, but I'm not making any decisions just yet, at least until Friday morning. Now, tomorrow pulls back on Google, and I get the opportunity to close my sold calls for a profit. Absolutely. I mean, break even or for a profit, I'm doing it. Full stop. If that pulls back next week's, I don't know if I would end up doing anything or waiting till next week. One pullback and you guys are good. And Google's pretty overbought, and people were thinking the same thing back here. The stream even sounded the same because Google just blasted off one day. I was like, oh crap, what do we do? And then the answer was nothing because it pulled back. They sent it. Let's see if this is an emotional, just overbought reaction. And then it pulls back. You don't want to just make a whole plan and just spend your whole night really driving in every detail, and then next day it just pulls back and you're fine. James says he's waiting for the selling to stop on Berkshire B. That's always a good plan. MicroStrategy calls. Now we're talking. What do I think about Tesla and QUBT stocks? I will be going over those here in just a couple seconds, as a matter of fact. XBI, bull flag. Right here. Ooh, Cody, are you here? Is it time? Are we buying LABU? I'm doing it. I'm buying LABU tomorrow. I'm not giving it a huge runway, though. I'm going to go 111.85. Breaks that. I'm going to need a new iPhone because I'm going to Ninja Star mine into the wall. Unless futures sell off overnight. Futures sell off overnight, I'm not doing it. We open up here. Futures are looking good tomorrow. Then I am. All right, let's talk about Apple. Okay, so he paid $2,000 for a put. $2,000 for a 265 put. So it's $20, right? So $20 a share. That's why his break even's 244. Essentially, he just goes short at 265. If that fills, it'll fill because it's deep in the money. So he'll get a sign, right? Yeah, if you want. You want to assign the shares. You want to be in the Bitcoin's giving some back tonight. Good. I mean, as long as Apple has that leg down, the only thing that would make me nervous. Let's just pull up the options chain. Let's just break down that play real quick. All right, so you bought December 20th, 265. Sorry, 265 puts. They're down today because Apple was up. You paid $2,000 for them. So your break even is right here. But you could buy this, and it would still be the same. Why? You just want to be at the 265 level. I haven't done anything like this, so that's why I'm intrigued by it. You don't want to own the shares short? So back, if you don't want to own the shares, you just wanted to go short Apple at a higher delta then, but just not put up the capital. Okay, it's like a synthetic short position. Typically, we're talking about synthetic longs where you would go like an 80 delta, you would go long, and it would just cost a lot less than buying 100 shares. Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes sense. You just want to go short to play without all the volatility right here. Okay. Man, I was struggling with that one. Trying to put that together. I thought you wanted to own the shares. Like that doesn't make sense. You can just go short right now. It's all the same. Yeah, so he bought the put because he wanted to be short, but at an 80 delta, you don't have this volatility in your options contract, watching your P&L dance around like someone's shooting at its feet. Okay, it's not bad. You're playing more of a pullback. Hopefully that does pull back and you're good. Just the only thing I worry about is as we end the year, institutional participation starts to die down. There's a lot less people that go short, so just kind of inherently things just kind of grind their way up. If there's tickers that are already down, they kind of get the beat down anyway. Because that is tax loss harvesting. They'll try to just write that off. So hopefully something like this kills it and pulls back. It's just timing as far as the end of the year, I think, is what's going to be. If that play doesn't pan out, it's going to be that. What was the delta on those long Apple? They were 80. NVIDIA, what's up, McLovin? With the donation. NVIDIA will make 150 or 130 first before year end. 150. Let's pull it up. Oh, $10 move? Yeah. Ooh. If we get above this zone right here, my guess would be the 150 mark. To get to 130, we would need a catalyst. Let's say so I think the markets are up. Tesla's up. If Tesla pulls back, Google pulls back at the same time, just for a profit taking. Hey, I'm just gonna take a little off the top kind of play. Qs are gonna have a bad day, and then tech might just reflect that. But even then, Nvidia is probably just gonna pop right back down to here. So I don't know how worried I'd be without an actual Nvidia catalyst. Chips have been kind of struggling. If there's any tariff war, any kind of chip news, that's what you would need to get NVIDIA down to that 130 mark. Hoping the December 20th beats the Santa Claus rally. I hope so too, man. I'm rooting for you. Let's see. I almost sold the 150 covered calls on NVIDIA. Then I remembered I'm never supposed to sell calls again. Only MicroStrategy and coins. Let's talk about MicroStrategy. People in my group, I just want to shout out my group right now because I want everyone to have FOMO and join, which is literally just Patreon. Patreon to the monthly thing. Don Francho at Teachable. That's the lifetime. You guys have absolutely killed it as far as selling MicroStrategy puts. Literally just talk about a cash machine. Just selling puts. Like, how much you make? Just a few grand. What'd you buy? Nothing. I said I might buy MicroStrategy. Maybe. I thought about it. Just wanted to make more free money. As Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin, you said Bitcoin's pulling back. Not really. I think MicroStrategy is going to continue to, as long as Bitcoin's on this run. I think MicroStrategy is going to do well as far as selling puts. Now, someone asked about buying calls. Options on MicroStrategy are through the roof. I mean, it is buying the Lamborghini of options, puts or calls. You're at the high stakes table. It needs to move and then move a little bit more for those to be profitable. Luckily, MicroStrategy has done that. But, if you're asking me, should I buy MicroStrategy calls? That is just not an easy question to answer because you could buy some cheap out of the money calls, right? You're going to risk less, probably not win, but if it has just an awesome run, those are going to kill it. You're going to buy an at the money, which is what I do. Typically, when I'm an options buyer, it's at the money 2-3 weeks out. And you got to be directionally right. This, you need to be directionally right, and then it needs to get moving. It needs to get scooting. Or you just lose money in theta. So there's quite a few ways you could still lose by buying MicroStrategy calls as it goes up. Long calls on MicroStrategy are too expensive right now. I'm not buying calls. Yeah. Need a bear flag to sell another. Yeah, when it comes to selling options on MicroStrategy, if I own the shares, selling calls kills it. The only thing you might do is leave some money on the table, but your options are you make a little bit or you make a little bit more. It's not a bad strategy, not a bad play, you know? Um, so I don't mind that at all. I do like the selling the 350 puts, and I've even sold a couple with you guys. Not near to the degree you guys are doing it. Cody, my admin on YouTube, is like, "Oh, I'm going to sell it, make another." Oh, and he was mad that day because he missed the opportunity to make another 50% in 15 minutes. Anytime he just gets down to that zone, you just sell a put. You're up thousands. I might buy it at a really low price. The group is dancing in the streets. Yeah. Just killing it. And it is holding flat. As long as Bitcoin remains on this with how much they own, it's basically a Bitcoin ETF. I don't know how concerned I really am until Bitcoin really chills. And as a put seller, you're not going to be in a bad spot. I buy the MSTX stock and use it as call options to sell when it pops. Oh, okay, nice. The leverage. All right. To the TikTok user that called out Boeing. Sorry it took this long. Kosho's calling out Delta. Delta Airlines, is there a coin called Delta now? Boeing. Look at Boeing. Now, if you had my charts, did you guys buy Boeing at that trend line? Boeing absolutely killed it. Well, as far as if you bought at that yellow zone, you're doing all right. I would tighten up my stop at this 170, 175 mark. Because right now, Boeing has not turned around. Boeing has had a pretty decent bounce off this zone. Right down here. Good zone area where there's 2 days below it. Not a bad bounce, but not a reversal. Could still very much be a lower high. You know, if I bought this yellow zone, my stop would be 158.85. That's plenty of wiggle room to let this thing breathe and continue up. Once we hit that zone, I would tighten it up even more, maybe 166.85. If it breaks, good. If it pulls back, I would at least wait to that 152 mark to get back in. You got January 160 calls. If you're up on them, calls are a lot harder to trail. This is something I would consider locking it in. And I'll feel terrible if this thing is just 180 by January. But I draw these zones. I've been trading these things for the last 12 years. The likelihood of us just blasting through that, like no problem, very slim. And in that case, it kills your call options. Just having that sideways or pullback action. I would try to get cute with it. What would you say to someone that has a financial advisor but says the stock market is easy? I've doubled my money this year. What would you say to someone that has a financial advisor but says the stock market is easy? I've doubled my money this year. So you have a financial advisor, but you doubled your money. First of all, I would question, financial advisors all say the same thing. That's it. And depending on how they charge, it's more likely not a flat fee. It's more a percentage thing. It costs a lot. They do it for you. Hopefully they do well. But they're not taking on near the risk of somebody that's actively trading it. It's a lot of target day funds and maybe an ETF. And then you've doubled your money this year. Is the financial advisor saying you doubled his money or you doubled your money? Because you doubled your money because you followed me. TikTok, he's in my group. I know he is, and he just follows the plays. We're 150 we're around there. The person doubled his money. Yeah, I'm trying to read what you're saying. Financial advisors don't know how to trade. Yeah, they're not there to trade either. It's not a thing against financial advisors. It's just it's two different roads. Better to close the 160 call or sell calls against it. Either way, and now we're back to the Boeing play. Either way, you're selling a call option, Now, if you sell calls against it, you turn it into a spread, theta and vega neutral. You can stomach the pullback a lot easier. If you're going to get cute with it, you have the 160 call. So you sell the 170, and as it pulls back, just a minor pullback, you buy the 170 back, ride the 160 back up. You can play the in and out game a little bit. You can do the same thing with selling that call and getting back in. Just however you want to do it. Either way, you're selling a call option regardless, whether it's the one you have or a different strike. You turn it into a spread, get a little cherry on the top. I'm a fan of doing that. If I bought the 160, I would even consider selling the 165s. If it pulls back, I'd buy that back and then watch it jump back up again. Must be that. So I have a family member that has a financial advisor that knows I trade and says the market is easy. The financial advisor is telling you the market's easy? Banging. Say you're right. It is. Good talk. What are we doing here? Are we trying to brag to the guy? Are we arguing with the guy? Like, give me the settings. Are we trying to fight this guy or what? I don't typically. The family member? I still wouldn't matter. Your family member's a financial advisor. I'm so lost right now. Financial advisor probably plays it much safer. Yeah, they're trying not to lose your money, and they want it to grow more than a savings account. Can you explain selling a put versus buying it? I can explain that I have a course that goes over literally all of that. Somebody asked that. Okay, selling a put. All right, so let's talk about Mara for a second. Now, if you sell a put on Mara, right? I have some 23s. If I sell this put over here, someone's going to pay me $61 for that put because they're buying it thinking it's going to go well below. I'm selling it because I think it's going to hold there. Now, if it gets below, I have this sold put. The shares get put to me. So if it's below 23 as of Friday, or December 13th, Friday, then I buy 100 shares at 23. Now, if I bought that put and it's below, I have the right, not the obligation, to actually take the shares short at 23 and still be good. But if you sell a put and it gets below your strike, shares get put to you. If you sell a call and it goes above that strike, your shares get called away. Hang on, technician. Okay, so the family member knows nothing. The family member has a financial advisor. And then who's saying the market is easy? And what am I supposed to say something to this family member? Or the family members trying to justify what you do, or trying to like write what you do off? Oh, the market's easy, saying that, but has a financial advisor. Is that what's going on? I wanted to join the MicroStrategy put selling. Okay, so I'll bring up that particular ticker right now because it's killing it. Now my group has sold a lot of the 350s, so this won't be as appealing because right now the 350 is only $60. That's for this Friday. You sell next week's 350 put on MicroStrategy, it's $775. Now, what's going to happen here is I sell that 350 put. Now, I sell it to you. You are going to buy that put because you think MicroStrategy is going to go down. I'm going to sell it to you. So my account, you're going to pay me $775. That's going to go right into my account. And then if MicroStrategy is 350.01 and higher, I keep all your money. If it goes below 350, I have to buy shares from you at $350 a share. So if it goes to 300, I'm going to own that thing at 350. That's going to be my average price, 350. So you sell puts on things you want to own. Would I buy MicroStrategy at 350 right now? Yeah. So I would rather get paid to buy it than just flat out buy it. Knows I trade. I've said how good we've done. He says, that's nothing. The market is easy. I've doubled. Tell him that's cute. But in the last 2 years, you've 3x'd your money. Well, a little bit more because it's 150% each year. So a little bit more like 4x. I don't know. I would just say, sweet, man. that would literally be my reply. I don't like having these conversations with family members or people that aren't part of this world because they just have no idea what they're talking about. It'll probably send me into a rage because if you don't have experience in something, I do not want to hear your opinion. Full stop. If it's not a conversation of I don't have experience, I'm kind of thinking about it, I'll have that conversation. If you're trying to tell me how something is and you know nothing, I would literally rather watch the paint on my walls that's already dry. I would rather watch it deteriorate than have that conversation. What happens if I don't have the cash? You can't sell that put. It is called a cash secured put. It will lock up the capital to buy 100 shares. What's up, Dominic? Dominic 444. Do I know you, Dominic? There is a Dominic that said he was going to be showing up in my streams. My friend's kid. Let's see if that's him. You don't tell anyone you trade? Yeah, I don't either. I used to in the beginning, and I was real passionate about it. But then everyone tells me it's gambling, and they tell me that it's a waste of time. Enjoy your job. I don't know. Good luck with a job. When you really think about it, it's a comfortable prison cell. Is all your job is. You have to be there every day. You still have to listen to everybody. The only difference is you get to go home and sleep in a different bed. Have fun. Knock your heart out. I'm telling you, telling people you're a traitor or anything like that. Someone just gave me glasses. What does that mean? J-Rock gave me glasses. I looked over at TikTok and I had sunglasses on. I was like, what the crap? Oh, I got a lightning bolt and a rose. I'm like a little suave Thor over here. Anyway, yeah, telling anybody you're a traitor, they're just going to tell you everything they're insecure about. It's draining, is what it is. So if you sell a put and you're wrong, you're forced to buy the 100 shares at that strike price. Yes. I have one friend that started listening. Now it is cool when the friends do listen. Because you're like, look, this is what you can do. You don't have to be broke. I know, right? It's weird. You click your thumbs a few times and more money shows up in your account. It's an amazing income. But if someone's not ready, it's not happening. Kind of like in the Matrix. If you're not ready to believe you're in the Matrix, you can't take the red or blue pill. Whatever Morpheus says, your mind is just, it's not there. XRP, 69 cents. Is that where you bought it at? Or, hang on. I don't get the 69C part. Send it, though. Ooh, cowboy hat and mustache. Not bad. I don't know what's going on TikTok, but they do things and I get images on my head. Good job, YouTube. Way to make it boring. Until they lose money and never talk to you again. Oh, man. If I could pay somebody to never talk to me again, what's the price? I have no problem being a hermit crab. But no, you definitely, yeah, that's another thing. If your friend isn't fully on board and you make a call, let's say, hey, you bought Palantir at $10 and then it didn't pan out the way Palantir did and it went back to 2, then that's going to be a sore subject. What's funny though is there's been a few people that I have now I can't really say this. I told them, hey, if you want to get into this, I don't do this anymore, so don't email me. But I told people that I know in real life, if you follow every word I say, you put $2,000 in an account, and I'll tell you a couple things to do. If you lose in 6 months, if you're down, I will make you whole. Whatever it is, you lose all your money, I'll give you $2,000. You're down $10, I'll give you $10. What's funny is the amount of people that have said no to that. My wife just walked by and heard your rant on a financial advisor. Peterson. Oh no. Um, Casey says the answer is yes. Brad says I'll take that guarantee. I figured everyone on here would. But if everyone on here was watching and just did whatever my Patreon costs, like, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot. I really did. But if you even just followed that plan, I started it at 0. We put in $150 a week. Um, but that's at 15,000 right now. And that's at 15,000 because it's pulling back right now because I bought AMD at like 140. But I bought AMD at 140. We've sold like 3 calls on it. Waiting for it to pop back up again. We'll sell some more. I think AMD's a dip buy. Bought it a little bit earlier. So with that pulling back, the account's pulled back. So we're only at 15,000 now. If you do the math throughout the whole entire year, total deposits I think ends up being 7,000. Then you could have just followed that and you'd been well ahead. You want my Cash App? When I talk about Tesla, I have a bunch. Sorry, TikTok. As far as Tesla goes, we got $20 expected move for the remainder of the week. So kind of $20 up, $20 down. Doesn't really mean much when it comes to Tesla because Tesla could just absolutely send it. I do think Tesla's going to pull back. I think there's going to be some profit taking. If it's not tomorrow, it might be Take Profit Friday. As of now, I'm entertaining the idea of going short. It will be a day trade. If Tesla pulls back, I think it's a dip buy. Still very much on a trend up. I think we're spicy. I wouldn't be buying shares right here. I think I would buy shares right now at 400. If tomorrow pulls back to 400, I'm doing it. If tomorrow gaps down to 400, maybe I'm gonna wait till the open. Because that might gap down and just send it down here to 363. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's the only thing that would get me to probably not buy the $400 mark. Oh, I've sold 2 calls on AMD. Okay. Not that rich yet. Can't afford 100 shares. Oh, of MicroStrategy. I hear you. It's not a cheap one. That's how I feel when I talk about Meta. I'm like, I'm selling calls. What are you guys doing? Nothing with my 9 shares. Same 2 weeks out. Oh, am I buying calls? I was gonna buy more Tesla shares. I really want more Tesla shares. I wanted them cheaper. Yeah, actually, I will. I'll probably go at the money 2 weeks. A 400 call 2 weeks out. If it pulls down to 400, I'll go at the money 2 weeks out. Oh, as far as the Tesla puts will be at the money for next Friday. If we open up where we're at or higher, as far as Tesla goes, I'll show you real quick before I pull up. What is this? Did someone ask me about Meta? Am I losing my mind? Netflix. That's my bad. Hang on. I'll show you the strike real quick. All right, so it'll be next Friday. We'll go at the money. So Tesla would need to be where we at 430. 425. I'll grab some 420 puts for next Friday, December 20th. Yeah, so as of right now, $1,400. It'll be a little bit cheaper tomorrow when that reflects either theta or if we gap up a little bit. So I'll grab a couple of those, and then if tomorrow is green, probably still hold them for a Friday pullback. If tomorrow, I'll buy those in the morning. So tomorrow is red. I'm locking them in before the bell. There is a 99% chance I do not have that Monday morning. Well, all peasants following a NASDAQ. Yeah, 9 shares of Meta would be the standard. Okay, Netflix. Netflix is just ridiculous. My bad. Netflix absolutely sending it. Every red candle has been a dip buy. I would assume this probably continues up a little bit higher before we see another red candle down. If there was a negative catalyst and push this thing to 900, that would be a dip buy. I would not really worry about this until it actually breaks below. Let's see. Who called out? Oh, Zane, Netflix. Yeah. TikTok. Any other ones? I'm looking at the chat right now. These prices are just so stupid. But are they stupid? Are they stupid, or are you just used to seeing these numbers down here? You haven't looked at it in a while, and now you see it's way up here, and you're thinking that's ridiculous. Because all it's done is kind of just grind its way up. As far as valuation or things go, I do think we're high. I think next year we're going to crash. I think it's perfect. We're going to pull back. We're going to get some real prices on things. Respect 1305 says turbo. What are we turboing? I'm about that life. Twin turbos? Are we taking off the rear bumper? You're going to leave it or is your engine in the front? We're mounting those things. Meta and Google have okay PEs. Meta, I don't care what anybody says about Meta. Meta just needs to keep going. Meta's my number one position, so I'll fight anybody to the death on that one. I have before, in fact. I keep winning. These prices are making me thirsty. DraftKings, let's go. Let's see. I like DraftKings. Been a while since I've broken this one down. So what I would do is I would consider a long play right now on DraftKings. Now, this is going into the zone's a type 1. Bottom of this yellow box is a type 2. Bouncing, coming back up, that's the type 3, in short. I have a YouTube video called Perfect Entry Types, or How to Trade It Perfectly. It did. The title did just recently change. But I explain all that. Right now, this would be a really early type 1. I would go ahead and buy it now in case we just start to bounce as a high or low. My stop, however, would be 38.85, regardless. I would buy some now. I would add on at that $40 mark at the type 2, and then full stop down here. But I do like the dip buy on DraftKings right now. For every new TikTok follower I get, I'll do that many more tickers starting now. Or if they share it. I'm in the 9:40 calls that expire Friday for Netflix. Let me bring that back up. So thinking tomorrow's a green day for Netflix. Let me pull it back up real quick. DJT. Ooh, hopefully it sends it. Kind of awkwardly there in the middle of the zone. It breaks 37. It might gain some momentum, start really pushing it up. Needs to break 37, 38 to kind of really be talking about that $45 zone. But right now I'd stop out at 32.45 because I think if that breaks, it's coming down to that yellow zone. Need a 65% crash to get back to normal. Stop. I'll be poor because if the stock market crashes 50%, I'm going to do some weird things to be getting some money. Like that's how much I would be in. And then to see it drop another 15% on top of that. Just buy 5 shares of DJT and wait till it's at 50 again. Why? 5 shares, huh? Ballin'. Kidding. We're waiting until it's at 50. I mean, ideally, that's where I would like to take profit. And and I'm kidding, by the way. I'm glad you're laughing at that comment because that could have been seen very differently. Breaking above this, hopefully we get up there. I just think it's going to struggle right here. We've played this back and forth game right here a little bit. More importantly, right here, right now. But I worry about that 38 mark, and then jumping up to there. I like buying things at the yellow box and selling them at the next yellow box, and we're kind of halfway right here. At that point, I have to worry about the previous high or low, which would be this red wick. What would be a good stop loss for Tesla? I need to pull up Netflix real quick. Hang on. It was Netflix 9:40 calls. You're right at the money. Ooh. As of right now, I think that's good. It's really that trade, the life of that trade is in the hands of the NASDAQ right now. That bull flag continues and pushes up a little bit higher. I do think NASDAQ's going to have a red day. either tomorrow or Friday. And it's just going to be a pullback, but a pullback on an at the money call or just slightly out of the money, yeah, it's going to decimate that thing. So tomorrow's green. I don't know if I'd roll that dice going into Friday. What do I think of the UNH dip? I do like United Healthcare. They just make too much money, which might lead to what just happened. But nonetheless, insurance companies are phenomenal at ripping people off and making money. And in the game of making money, that's kind of what the stock's supposed to do. Like, that's what the company's supposed to do if you want the stock to do well. The CEO did die. Not to be morbid, the company didn't die. The CEO did. Okay. 2-hour stream, working overtime. I want to show TikTok a little bit of love. And they gave me sunglasses. So we're here a little bit longer. I got sunglasses. I got a cowboy hat. It's been an absolute fashion show on the TikTok stream. I did go over AMD. I just got 99 coins from Yard. I don't think I get any of that. I think that's how people donate to TikTok people. Hey, that looks like a little crown, another cowboy hat. I think I'm supposed to switch my account to like a personal one because I think that translates to money. Right now, it's nothing. This is charity work. You are easily bought. I am. As long as I don't have a bunch of just idiots showing up, I don't mind going a little bit longer. Plus, I am taking the last 2 weeks off. It's going to start really slowing down, and I want to talk more about lessons and stuff like that. So doing it a little bit longer here and there doesn't bother me at all. Now I get a little crown. Yeah. Reminded me of the little hat Aladdin wears, but the gold version because I'm cooler, obviously. As far as AMD goes, very much trending down. Lower lows, lower highs, still headed lower. The bottom just might not be till this bottom zone down here. It might even be lower, you know. I bought it. I'm bullish. I do think this is the knife catch for AMD. I can mail you a hat, my guy. I would wear it. There's still somebody that sent me a canvas of Juice WRLD. Is that his name? Starts with Juice. He's a rapper. I have no idea who sent it to me. But I used to have a P.O. box for people to mail me stuff, and I've gotten a lot of cool stuff. The tall grass, there was a tall grass alcohol. I think it was vodka. It came with a blade of grass, and I was supposed to mix it with apple juice. It was called apple pie. That drink was phenomenal. But yeah, somebody sent me a canvas, no return envelope, no return address, nothing, no name, just my name from YouTube. And I was like, this is either Anthrax, the Unabomber is also a subscriber, or they just forgot to put it on there. Still to this day, I have no idea who sent that to me. Rip Juice. Did Juice die? He's not a thing anymore? Lori, I know when you send me something. It's got your name on it. And it's usually pretty comfortable. Oh, he's dead. R.I.P. I think it's got a halo on it too. Now I think about it, so that makes sense. Anyway, it's hanging up. It's on my shelf in my room. I don't know who the guy is, but yeah, rest in peace. The comment section of the post of the CEO dying is wild. I will say it's actually that's an album cover. Okay. Now I will say this: the amount of people celebrating this guy dying should, in fact, be an eye opener for everyone. Definitely take you as metalcore, progressive rock guy. Could be wrong though. I really listen to everything. There's if you want to know songs I know every word to, it's probably from Avenged Sevenfold, Puddle of Mud, Metallica, especially Metallica Black. Yeah, but I really do listen to everything except jazz. I can't do jazz. If there's a live band and I'm eating, jazz is awesome. You probably will never ever catch me listening to just something jazz in my room. There's calming music. I have that in the background. That's awesome. But, like, I used to say, if it doesn't have words, I'm not listening to it. It's weird, but that's been more of a jazz thing. Um, but anyway, the amount of people celebrating this guy's death was wild. Usually someone dies and it almost becomes a political thing, like, instantly. One side is sad, the other side's happy. This was everyone was just glad that guy died. Like, this guy is some kind of hero that shot him. And it sucks, but I will say there is something coming, not coming up, but the one thing I worry about is if it bleeds, it leads. That's what the news is all about. All they want is clicks. Nobody cares if this person saved a cat out of the tree. They care about this person dying and can they put a color in front of it, because that gets more clicks. And this news is making extremists, and you pile that on corporate greed. Not to say that there's going to be more coming, but I would not be surprised if this is, the more it happens, the more we're just going to desensitize ourselves to it. And hopefully no other CEOs die. I also think it's weird that you're a CEO of that caliber and they said he's been getting death threats and you had zero security detail. The whole thing sounds fishy to me. It sounds more like he wasn't playing ball, so they needed another CEO that would. That's my take. Tinfoil hat theory on that one. But it's crazy scrolling through Facebook and everyone's like, no, not this guy. Like, you think this guy's an angel. Tells you how many people have been screwed over by an insurance company. Just saying AMD is up. Robinhood after hours, 130.67. Nice. Lincoln Park. Yeah, I do like Lincoln Park. But I did just hear my garage open, which means my little ones are here. So it's time to go play probably Fortnite. That's been a nightly theme now. I have to play 2 rounds of Fortnite before bedtime. So we're working on our situational awareness. It is confusing that he wasn't CEO of the entire corporation, just his subsidiary. Yeah, there's multiple CEOs. Yeah, that's weird. Lisa was posting that earlier, is that there's multiple. But also to be singled out, I don't know. The thing actually sounds like a hit, but that's neither here nor there. The weird part was how many people were just happy this guy died, because that tells me just the public in general, everyone's losing sight of reality. That's the sad part for me. The McDonald's employee who called it in is going into witness protection. Yeah, because people have lost their minds. Honestly, I would have done this. I would not have called it in. Not for any other reasons other than I would expect the amount of people posting on Facebook. I would not want to be involved at all. Murder is wrong all the time. It is, yeah. Like nothing can come down to it. Like, you need to off anybody for that. What do I think of Pepsi at these levels? Pepsi and PayPal. I got to break those down. Then I do have to get rolling. American Psycho, odd trading movie. That potentially explains why he didn't have executive protection. UHC has executive. What do I think of Pepsi at these levels? I like Pepsi at these levels a lot. Pepsi just might be. I've been looking for a dividend ticker that I specifically want to own going into next year. You'll have to watch my videos talking about a crash. I want it to be a dip buy. I want it to be a dividend ticker, and a good dividend ticker, as in like it pays its dividend. It's going to be here. I want share appreciation, and I want to collect the dividend, because I do think next year stock market's not going to do well. It's going to crash. I think, as far as smart money, everyone knows that. And so I think there's going to be a rotation. They're going to lock in some profits on things that are just absolutely on the moon, because why not? And then they'll take that money, park it over here just for the meantime. Just do a quick little parallel park job, and then move it back later. I think they'll just bide their time in a ticker like this. And I think Pepsi just made the cut. I was looking at Nike. I was looking at a few other things. I wanted to dip buy. I also wanted to like the company, but I do like this one. Weekly, as far as dividend tickers, I only care about the purple zones. Right now, we're in one. Coca-Cola's in a nice. Let's check that out real quick. If Coca-Cola was down here, I'm gonna put my alert right there. As a matter of fact, world's gone mad. TikTok hunted her down. The employee that did it. Appreciate the information tonight. We'll be joining the group soon. Nice. That's awesome. One thing I don't mention of, if you do join the group or if you're like a YouTube member, look in not the comment section, the community tab, because you have my my chart link. So you'll have all my zones. You don't need to like copy them or anything. You'll just save my layout, and then you'll have all my yellow boxes. And it was Pepsi and PayPal. Anyway, the world has gone mad. I got to explain one more thing before I get out of here. PayPal's just cruising up. Okay, so as far as PayPal goes, this is just a nice trend up. This isn't overbought. It's nothing. Has some green days, and then it pulls back. Just a nice mix of green and red candles, but just working its way up. Volatility hasn't really hit this one. And no way would you want to short this. Maybe if it broke the weekly zone, you could take a short play. Right now, everything about it is just you just keep buying, and you just stay on the gain train until it does turn around. So maybe that $95 level, I would worry more about this $100 level up here. That might be where if I was going to catch a knife and go short PayPal, it wouldn't be till 101 or 102. Anyway, I watched the movie on Netflix, Subservience, with Megan Fox. Anyway, it's a robot. I do have a video coming out just about this in general. If you haven't watched it, you definitely should watch. I think they did a great job of portraying robots in the real world, like the humanoid robots. Great. The first 3/4 of the movie, absolutely phenomenal. Not going to give away the ending, but it was like, nah, come on, you're so good. But it was. We'll break this. Quantum computing. The quantum. I'll give my whole take on quantum because there's this one. There's IonQ. IBM is a quantum play. And I've actually gone in depth to looking into the quantum play. Everything about quantum computing is just a little bit early right now. So you just don't know who the winner's going to be. So as far as if I'm going to take a quantum play, I would probably want to buy a little here, a little there, kind of cast a net out. Spend a little bit in each one. And if you grab one that's the winner, then you're doing good. If I'm taking this as a trade, my stop would be 510. Not a Netflix fan, but sounds good. Yeah, so Megan Fox ends up being the robot that this husband buys. Overworked husband, just does too much. So this robot does the 3 Ds. It 3 Cs. Cooks, cleans, laundry. That there was a cool saying. It was 3 Ds, 3 Cs, and it like gave like the salesman like gave the three words. I was like, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. And it does. So this robot, the more it's with you, the more it learns about your family, learns schedules. They go to the park. Like the robot takes your kids to the park, and they show this park, all the kids playing, and you can see each robot there watching their kids that they're assigned to. There's robots on the workforce, and one of the cool sayings was they're building a building, and the guy said that they replaced the workforce. I'm not spoiling anything. They fire the guys, and they get to keep one guy on, and the dad's obviously overworked, and they say, hey, for insurance purposes, there needs to be some was it heart like flesh and beating blood or something on here. And I was like, that's kind of realistic. You need to have someone watching the robots. It was just a great job, I think, of what things could look like in the future. Enjoyed the movie Afraid More. The ending was the same though. It only reinforced this, and if you guys watched any of my previous videos, a guy I go live with on YouTube, Mike, so he and I went to a robotics convention where they're showing off the humanoid robots, ones you can buy right now. Just a lot of companies are buying them, stuff like that. There was an office cleaning robot it'll push in chairs and vacuum dust. It'll do all that. And the weirdest one was a hospital robot. It'll go get your hospital food and bring it to you. It would take your orders and all that. It was weird as crap because it had eyes. And you don't know how weird it is until that robot is standing there looking at you. It's not like the Mona Lisa where the eyes are in the middle, so it just looks like it's looking at you from everywhere. The pupils are following you around. It's weird. It's awkward. Makes you very uneasy. Like, get that thing away from me. I'm gonna roundhouse this thing right now. Stop looking at me. I don't want your attention. Go away. The Optimus bot needs to stay right where it's at. No face, and you know it's a robot. So I do think we need to keep robots that way. Cooking, cleaning, and cuddling. 3 C's. No. But anyway, as robots come out, if we make them humanoid and look like humans, feel like humans, all of that, which it's inevitable, we will. The sex industry is too big. It's going to be a thing. We all know it. But just think what that's going to do, because now you're not going to see human life anymore. You're going to see a human, but it might just be a robot dying. It might be something else. Like, we're just going to desensitize ourselves the rest of the way. I think it's gonna make things absolutely insane in the future. Anyway, I'll have more coming down. I'm gonna actually break down that movie. There was a lot of things in there that I liked, customizable parts. But I think if there's ever one law we should make, it should be they cannot look like humans. Humanoid, look like Optimus, no faces, no nothing. Nothing else. Robot hands, robot parts, everything. But you guys definitely need to watch that movie. And then tell me what you think about it. Because it's interesting. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up here. If you made it all the way to the end, hang on. Did you see the latest Optimus video? I did not. It slips on mulch and saves itself. That's awesome. The future will be like the movie Idiocracy. I have Crocs. I can't wear them. Not doing it. If we go down that route, just know that I'm going to build a compound. You guys are welcome. And we'll just live like the Amish, but with electricity and tools. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, especially on YouTube, comment down below and let me know. I'm very curious who makes it all the way to the end of these. But I gotta wrap it up. I will see you guys. Actually, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.